A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In the midst of an escalating trade war between the United States and China, experts are sounding alarm bells over the potential impact on the pharmaceutical industry, with the U.S. importing approximately 75% of its essential medicines. The stakes are high as tariffs imposed by President Donald Trump and retaliatory measures from President Xi Jinping threaten to drive up prices for American patients. Currently, the Trump administration is investigating the importation of medications and active pharmaceutical ingredients, APIs, citing national security concerns over the dependency on foreign sources. While pharmaceuticals have been exempt from tariffs thus far, the looming threat of sectoral tariffs ranging from 7.5% to 100% could change that landscape, leading to a significant increase in drug prices. Experts warn that without carve-outs for pharmaceuticals, patients will bear the brunt of these escalating costs. In the short term, consumers may not see an immediate spike in prices at their local pharmacies due to the complex nature of the pharmaceutical supply chain. There are stockpiles at various levels of distribution, and many medications, particularly those in pill form, have long shelf lives. Bruce Y. Lee, a health policy professor, noted that pharmaceutical companies and healthcare providers might absorb the costs temporarily, as they did during the COVID-19 pandemic, allowing time for lobbying efforts to continue. India, a key supplier of generic drugs to the U.S., relies heavily on China for its APIs, creating a precarious situation. AstraZeneca's chairman, Michel Demer, emphasized the need for medicines to be exempt from tariffs, arguing that such measures would harm patient care and health equity. Other major pharmaceutical companies like Eli Lilly and Johnson & Johnson echoed these concerns, highlighting the potential for tariffs to disrupt access to essential medications. As the trade war intensifies, both the U.S. and China have imposed steep tariffs on each other's goods, with Chinese exports facing tariffs as high as 245% and American imports subjected to a 125% levy. This tit-for-tat escalation has left consumers, businesses, and markets bracing for uncertainty, with fears of a global recession looming. China, with its vast domestic market and economic resilience, has the capacity to endure the impacts of tariffs better than smaller nations. However, the Chinese government is also grappling with internal challenges such as low consumer spending and unrest stemming from job losses and a property crisis. The leadership's focus on nationalist sentiments and economic self-reliance may provide a buffer against the pressures of the trade war, but the long-term effects remain uncertain. In response to the tariffs, China has been investing heavily in technological advancements and infrastructure to reduce its reliance on U.S. imports. Initiatives like the Belt and Road Initiative aim to strengthen trade ties with countries in Southeast Asia, Latin America, and Africa, further diversifying China's economic partnerships. This strategic pivot has allowed China to reduce its dependence on U.S. agricultural products, significantly decreasing the share of American soybeans in its imports. Despite the ongoing tensions, the U.S. remains a critical trading partner for China, but the dynamics are shifting. As China becomes less reliant on American markets, the U.S. may find it increasingly challenging to exert pressure through trade negotiations. Recent reports suggest that the White House is exploring bilateral negotiations to isolate China, but this approach could prove difficult as many countries navigate their own interests between the two economic giants. In terms of financial leverage, China's significant holdings of U.S. government bonds could act as a bargaining chip in the trade war. However, experts caution that using this leverage could lead to detrimental consequences for China's own economy, potentially destabilizing the yuan and resulting in substantial losses in the bond market. Moreover, China's near monopoly on rare earth elements, crucial for advanced technology manufacturing, presents another layer of complexity. By restricting exports of essential rare earths, China could exert pressure on the U.S. tech industry, further complicating the trade landscape. With estimates suggesting China accounts for 61% of rare earth production and 92% of refining, the stakes are high for both nations as they navigate this intricate economic battlefield. As the trade war continues to unfold, the impact on the pharmaceutical industry and American patients remains a critical concern. With the potential for skyrocketing prices and reduced access to essential medications, the need for a resolution becomes increasingly urgent. The coming months will be pivotal in determining the future of U.S.-China relations and the health of millions of Americans reliant on affordable pharmaceuticals. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.